Welcome to this episode of the Smart Leader Sell podcast. I'm Jessica Lorimer, sales coach and leadership expert, and I'm really excited to have one of my previous snuggle buddies and biz besties on the show today. Welcome, Katya Varbanova, Queen of Livestream.
Hello, my dear. We do make fabulous snuggle buddies. And for those of you that are like, what does that mean? We literally mean we slept in the same bed with very few clothes on and just had the best time ever doing that.
So Katya and I stayed together in the same room at a very glamorous premiere last year for the Upreneur Summit. So we snuggle buddied last year. We went and got breakfast together. And we then spent our entire weekend just having an absolute giggle on the tables, learning a ton of stuff, speaking to, it felt like thousands of people. And I'm pretty sure that I lost you on the Friday night in a pub because I was trying to get Pat Flynn to hug some lady and you were like talking to Mike Morrison, and it was just, yeah, it was a busy weekend. We had a busy weekend.
It was eventful, I shall say that. And yes, for those of you listening to the podcast, Jess is very fun to go out with. I will say that.
It's very mutual. So I know you obviously as the Queen of Livestream. So I came across Katya, I'm going to say 2.5 years ago, maybe 3. Like we've been friends for quite a while now.
3 years probably, yeah. When I started, I started pretty much.
And so I've watched your business grow because Katya is one of the people who started monetizing Periscope. Now, at that time, I had not heard of Periscope. I didn't really know what it was. But one day I downloaded this app on my phone because I was like, oh, people are apparently using this now. And I asked my community who I should follow, and everyone was like, oh, you've got to check out this girl, Katya. And I was like, I don't know who she is. So I came along and I was following you, and you had started up by that point, this really cool membership site called Peri 10K, and you were teaching people how to get more viewers, more followers, and build their brands on Periscope, like using this video platform. Now, I ended up having a real hate relationship with Periscope. I just couldn't get over that really annoying notification noise that it had, the bird sound. I was like, I'm done. Like, I just can't. So my relationship with Periscope very quickly fizzled out. But you and I have been friends for a long time, and I've watched your business go from strength to strength, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing to watch. And you know, one of the reasons that I want you on the show is to talk about this idea of 6-figure success and dig into how you made 6 figures, because as we both know, everyone does it differently. But why don't you tell people the formal bio behind Varbanova?
Varbanova, yes. So I started in 2015 as a periscoper, and that's literally what I was doing. I was broadcasting, and I built a community around that. At the time, I wasn't really considered an expert. I was more of a community facilitator, manager, bringing people together, networker. I was more of a networker than an expert. And it just turned out that I was naturally very good at video marketing. And I started having people coming to me and asking for my advice. I was giving them advice, and then they would go out and make 10K in one day. I remember my friend Frank, I was on his broadcast once, and I gave him one tip. I gave him literally one sentence on a chat. He went and implemented it, messaged me and said, I made 10K. Here's a little bit for you. Like, he literally sent me money by PayPal because he was like, you know, what you told me just made me so much money. It was crazy. And at the beginning, I was not really charging people for it because I was still learning, and I was still finding my own strategies, my own frameworks. And then eventually people started saying, I'll give you money for this. And I just thought I'll take it. So I started as a community manager who had this membership club that I was managing as a community manager, but it accidentally turned out to be known as the video marketing expert for thought leaders and influencers. So today what I do is I am behind the creative direction and the content strategy behind some of the influencers and thought leaders you love to follow. So my job is to look at the bigger picture of their messaging and make it unique, and then communicate that through video, help them create a strategy that they can automate their videos with Facebook ads or Instagram ads or whatever ad platform they want to use. But it's really all about, for me, I am all about the creative direction of highly converting, highly impactful videos. I'm not so much into the production side, so I don't really do production. I just do creative direction and strategy for ads that will be assets for their business for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know,
and this is the thing. So we've kind of seen this quick overview of an evolution from you, but me and you have talked about this in the past, and we've had many conversations, both sober and involving wine, about this kind of 6-figure success mark in the industry. And I think, you know, for me, I think people look to the 6-figure mark because, you know, it seems to be what is the norm to be successful.
Yes.
And people feel like you have to be making 6 figures to be considered a success story in the online industry. So for you, when did you get to that point where you were like, right, okay, I know that this is something that I really want to do and I want to get to that 6-figure mark?
I'll be honest with you, I never actually pursued it. I just one day woke up to I had a call with my bookkeeper at the time. She's now been promoted to my finance manager and she does a lot more things. But at the time, she was my bookkeeper and she sent me this report. And I was like, Morena, we've made 6 figures already. I had no idea. Like, it was literally, we've made 6 figures in the second year of our business and I had no clue. Right? So the first year, I was 23 when I started. I had no clue what I was doing. So, you know, the first year, the fact that I replaced my banking income was, believe me, was more than sufficient for me. And then the second year, I just realized we hit 6 figures after we did it. Not only did we hit 6 figures in that year, we also hit 6 figures in profit, which was like, what? Well, we hit 6 figures in profit, and then my accountant gave me some advice to take a few more out as a salary and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, eventually we made the figures look less than 6 figures in profit. But we actually did get that in profit. We actually made over $100,000 in profit in that year. And it was not intentional, Jess. I was just focused on serving my community. And at the time, I've built a Perry 10K. At the time, now 20K Nation. You know, at the time, I focused on basically building that and really making the most amazing video-driven membership site, membership community. And one day, I remember I posted in the group. I posted sometimes last year, and I said, "Hey guys, I just want to let you know we've made 6 figures, and I had no clue." Bye. That was literally what I posted in the group. And I remember you liking that post or something. But yeah, you were very supportive about it. And I guess that answers your question. I wasn't planning it. It just happened.
But I think, so this for me is really interesting because I know that there are going to be a lot of people out there going, oh, great. Well, you know, maybe I just won't focus on it and that will happen for me. And I'm like, I want to preface this with, that's not like, it's not how it happens. I mean, I've known you for 3 years and I think we'd both agree actually that we work incredibly hard. You know, we definitely take time out. Like, I will fully admit that I'm completely lazy around things like launching and things like that because I like to have an easy life. But I would say that the thing that is similar between both of us is that we both have this work ethic that we like to focus on getting the right things done. You know, you focused right from the beginning on building this membership community. I focused right from the beginning on, right, okay, what can I do that's going to help me make the biggest impact for my clients? And for me, that was working one-to-one. And I think that's the noticeable thing about people who get to 6 figures or beyond quickly is that they have that key area of focus. They don't go off and try and do all the things, you know, and I think this is what I'm seeing with entrepreneurs.
1,000,000%. And you know, when I say I didn't know how it happened, at the time I didn't, but now looking back, I can absolutely tell you for a fact, half of the 6 figures came from memberships. Yeah. So I was selling Perry 10K at the time. Half of the income at the time was coming from that. The other half was coming from maybe less. Maybe it was more like 60-40. 60% was coming from the membership. 40% was coming from affiliate commissions that I was promoting the 90-day year. And the funny thing is the way that I was promoting the 90-day year was with video ads. That's how I realized I was good at video ads because I made so much money on like that affiliate launch. And I was like in the leaderboard, like just under Amy Porterfield and Ryan Levesque with a list of 800 people. But my video ads were the best. You know, my video ads were just incredible. And that's how I got, you know, that was pretty much how the income was divided. So looking back, I had one focus for my business. That was Perry 10K. I went all in on that one product. I did not deviate my attention to anything else. And also for, you know, 1 month of the year, I focused on the 90-day year. And here's the funny thing. When I focused on 90-day year, I focused so much, I completely ignored promoting my own stuff. Yeah. That's how focused I get when I'm doing a really creative launch. And I'll be honest, for those of you watching this and getting anxiety with that idea, I am not a naturally focused person. I am an ENFP, and for those of you that know what that means, ENFPs are the starter types who love to start things but cannot stick around and finish them. So for ENFPs, we cannot be focused at that task. We like to do multiple different things. But I saw the results. I saw that being focused makes me the most money. Yes. So for me, I just forced myself to be focused because I knew it was worth it. So if you're worried about the focus thing, that it's not your thing, believe me, it is not. I am not naturally focused at all. But in my business, I am, because I know that's how you make the most.
And that's the thing, you know, a lot of people know you as being somebody who has a big audience. You know, you have a substantial following on social media, and you are ever present and kind of omnipresent on there. You're on lots of platforms and things. And I think that people often can feel like, oh, well, that's where I've got to start. You know, I've got to be on every platform. I'm going to be on Facebook. I'm going to be on Twitter. I'm going to be on, you know, having an email list. And then they see that people are doing all the things. You know, they're like, okay, so that person has a group program and they do one-to-one and they have a membership. So I'm going to go and do that. And the reality is that none of us started that way. You know, I started with one-to-one and then I moved forward. And once I'd mastered that, I set up a group program. Katya started with her membership and focused on that, and then went into affiliate income. And then, you know, you've moved on, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But it's having that idea and being prepared to go all in on just one thing for a certain period of time. For me, it's 90 days. I have to do it for 90 days to see the results and to kind of get the data that I need to look at whether or not I'm going to continue moving forward with that, or whether I'm going to change it and do something else.
Definitely. I definitely had to learn that the hard way, really. But looking back, it's why I continue to do the way that I do things. I just focus on promoting one thing at a time. I focus, you know, a lot on building a team to keep me accountable to do one thing at a time. I literally need people to remind me to focus. I pay people to remind me to focus and to send me a message. And like, I had my project manager send me a message today. She said, oh, I know you're having fun, but just so you know, you have to follow up with those 4 people about your 20K Nation offer. And I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot. Thank you very much. So I pay people to keep me focused.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
And it's massively worth it. I think, you know, that's the key thing. And as we're kind of finding out over the 6-figure series, it is about identifying your one thing. So I guess that begs the question, like, how did you realize? Because I know that my audience will be like, well, that's great, but I've got a million ideas. How do I know?
Oh, God. Yeah.
How did you think, or how did you realize that it was going to be this membership that was the first thing for you?
So I went the other way around. I went and started 2 other things. So I started the membership. I became the queen of Periscope. That's what people used to know me. The Perry Queen. That's what they used to call me. And then I quit my job. So I went, well, great. Now I have all this extra time that I didn't have before. I'm going to start new projects too. So I started 2 other things. I started a Snapchat geofilter service. For those of you who don't know, those are like Snapchat filters that you can create for other businesses. And, you know, they're just cool things that put your logo on the story of Snapchat. So I used to have a service for that. I partnered up with another designer, and we run that kind of side hustle together. And then I also created a blog, which was livestreamincome.com. It's actually still up, but I don't really put anything on there. But I was writing blogs on there and focusing on doing some live stream consulting. And so I ended up having 3 things. I ended up having Perry 10K. I ended up having, 20K Nation today. I ended up having 20K Nation, the Snapchat geofilter service, and the blog. And my income just stopped growing. I reached a point where my income would just not budge. It would get to a few thousand a month and then it would just not move. So I got help, and the mentor helped me realize that I was not focused. So literally he told me, drop everything else and focus on your membership. So I did. And then I went to have my first 10K month. Within 3 months of doing that, I then went on to use that same principle to do an affiliate launch, and I made 100K in sales in 1 month. Not even in 1 month, in 2 weeks. 1 week of cart open. So I guess I made 100K in sales in 1 week of cart open, of which half of that went to me. And after that moment, Jess, that was when I realized I needed one thing, because I was like, holy cow, I just made more in a week than I made in my banking job. Because I used to make in my banking job like £31,000, which is like, I don't know, $40,000 maybe.
Yeah.
So I used to make $40,000 a year as a banker, and I just made $50,000 in commission, which it means I have to do no work for it.
Yeah.
It's just a passive income commission, and I made that in a week with a week work.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized focus does work. So I got burned, and then I realized it and I went for it. And then from there, I just went all in on the live streaming and the video stuff, focused on the community, called it live stream and video marketing. And just since then, I have not looked back. I have, 3 years later, I am still the live stream and video marketing expert for thought leaders that everybody knows of. I have not changed my positioning, and I'm not planning to, because it works for me. And here's the one thing that I think people don't realize. Just because you're pigeonholed into one positioning, that doesn't mean you can't serve people with other things. I have so many people that I help with their messaging and their branding that they don't really come to me for that. They come to me for video. I end up doing branding and messaging. So a lot of them don't think of me as a branding person, but that's what I end up doing with them anyway. But here's the thing. If I said I do video and I do branding and I do this and I do that, they'll be so confused. They're going to buy from someone else.
Exactly.
And that's the difference.
That's the thing. It's about being clear. And I think one of the things that I see you do really well is you describe symptoms well in a way that makes it easily accessible to the audience. And I think, I know, look at me getting fancy.
That's I'm fascinated by this. And I think that may be useful for others as well who are struggling with this. What do you mean by that?
Because if we think about it, so the whole psychology behind people buying is around this idea that if you can explain their pain point or their problem better than they can, because generally we don't articulate our own problems all that well, then they understand that we can A, understand the problem, B, empathize with the problem, and C, are way more likely to take our advice on solving the problem, because we can articulate it in a way that maybe they can't. So when we talk about how people feel, and we link it into the important areas of life, because if we think about it, when we're selling one solution, and I say this as somebody who literally, before I got on the call with you today, I was scrolling through Facebook, I get targeted with a bunch of ads for beauty products. Clearly Facebook does not know me and know that I basically do nothing. But hey ho, like someone out there is giving it a go and they've got me on a target list. I said there's this hair care product, and it basically said, are you really lazy but want nice hair? And I was like, that's for me. I'm really lazy and I want nice hair. And they had a great little video thing, boomerang video of this person who had crap hair, and then it looked great. And I was like, right, okay, great. I'm gonna go do that. And I bought it, and it was like 15 quid or something. It wasn't expensive. But the fact was they had spoken to my symptoms. When I went across to the sales page, they said, are you somebody who doesn't have a lot of time to spend dealing with your hair? Are you somebody who has fine hair or damaged hair or this hair or that hair? And as I went through, I was like, oh yeah, that's me. And the more that we can make our customer feel, oh yeah, that's me. Oh, they're in my brain. They're talking directly to me. This, it's me that they're writing about. The easier it is for them to purchase, and I think that's one of the things that you do really well with your messaging, is that you are somebody who makes things easily understandable. Is this you? You give people the ability to create these definitions for themselves. Am I somebody who, for example, if we look at your 20K Nation offer, I was watching the launch of this recently because I'm a stalker.
I love you.
No, I was watching the launch of it recently. But the reason that it was so powerful, the reason that this launch, I think, in my eyes, went so well, was this definition of you gave people a clear understanding. Are you the person who wants to hit 20K a month?
Mm-hmm.
And it was very clear, and you gave them reasons behind why should you want to hit 20K a month. What is the reality of hitting 10K a month or 15 or 20? What's the difference? And why should you want to be going for that other thing? Include that with the stuff that you did around, do you want to be an influencer or a thought leader or an expert or a solopreneur, or I can't remember the others because I stalked you.
The STAR thing, yeah.
But the STAR framework, again, it gives people an idea of here's where I am, here's where I want to go. And because I can recognize the symptoms, I know I can get there. Mm-hmm. And that's a very different prospect for people.
I'm just so grateful that you said that, because I struggle myself articulating my pain point. Do you see what Jess just did? She was very good at articulating my genius really well. And if you can do that for others, I don't think you will ever struggle making any sales whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And I think in a way that is the secret to six figures. It's being able to understand the customer so well that you speak a language that only they understand. And our common friend Rachel Peterson, she always says that if you want to go viral, you only want to speak to one person. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if you try to speak to too many, then the message gets muddled up. But if you try to speak to one, well, there's more than one person that fits that profile. And your job is to pick one specific person. Even if it means actually thinking of a real life example of a person, like think of somebody you actually worked with and go all in on marketing to that particular person's problem, and you will have all the attention. And if you can have the attention, that's why I'm such a believer in video, because video just algorithmically allows you to catch attention better, because for algorithm purposes, video is the one thing that comes on the top of the feed. So if you can catch the attention, you can give them something to consume. And if they consume your content and they hear your methodology and they hear your values and they hear your ways of working, they will buy. Yeah. So if you can get the attention, you will hit six figures. If you cannot get the attention, you will always find yourself saying stuff like, I just don't have enough people to sell to. That's what you will always say, that I just don't have enough people to sell to. For me, the problem is the other way. I just don't have enough products to offer everybody that wants to buy. And I have so many different things, and it still doesn't cover everything everybody wants. Like I don't have, for example, I have so many people that would love a course on, overcoming fear of going live. I don't have that course. But I reckon I have thousands of people in my audience who, if I had that course, they would buy it straight away. So that's my issue, Jess. That's my issue, that I have more problems than courses.
But I think the other thing, though, that you can do well with that is you've already done affiliate launches. So it's a case of you could always just find other people to affiliate with on that.
There you go. There you go. Molly, where's Molly Mahoney? Molly, make me an affiliate. I will sell your life confidence course.
There we go. See, I'm solving problems here.
Exactly, right? 50% I will get from Molly's courses. Molly Mahoney. I love Molly.
But this is the thing. I think this is what we need to be looking at when we're looking at business owners. And you brought up a really interesting point there around people saying, I need more people to sell to. That is something I hear all the time. Everyone's like, I need a bigger audience. I need a bigger audience. Now, you mentioned earlier your list was 800 at the time that you did the Todd Herman launch. And I've always been very open about the fact that I sold out my first ever group program on a 238 person email list. I've still got a tiny Facebook group in comparison to the majority of my peers. The difference is that we convert the audience we have.
Yep.
That's the big difference. And I think, when people, there can be this big tendency to want a bigger audience. And yes, absolutely. The more of an audience you have, yes, the more sales potentially you are going to make. However, rather than focusing on, right, I'm going to build this massive audience first and then I'm going to sell to them. Again, I would say something that's quite similar between the two of us is that I sold definitely right from the beginning.
Oh, girl, I was selling before I had a sales page to sell with.
Exactly.
I was like, people were throwing me money before I even had a sales page. I was like, give me 24 hours to finish the sales page and then you can give me money. That's what was happening.
But
we were selling before. Because you know what? Most of you listening to this, if you have ever had a launch that flopped, the only reason your launch flopped was because you tried to sell something to somebody that didn't want that thing.
Yeah.
They just didn't want it. You assumed that they would, but you never actually checked. And I never do that. I've never done that. I've always, always, always collected money before I decide if I will sell something.
Yeah.
I know some of you were like, what? But actually, me and Jess like to validate. And by the way, a lot of you are like, yeah, I validated. I asked my friends and they said it's a good idea. That's not validating. Validating is, hey, this is what I have for pre-sale. Would you like it? Yes, give me cash. That's validated. And we do that really, really well with everything we decide to put out there. And, me and Jess, we both like to put new offers all the time. We love to create new stuff. We're very creative in that way. So we have to pre-validate. Otherwise, we're going to be wasting time creating. Yeah. So if you ever had a launch that flopped, this is why it flopped, because you didn't validate it enough, or you targeted the wrong person. So.
Exactly. And it can be as simple as going out and doing some market research, putting out a post to your existing audience, no matter how big or small, but the people that you're actually going to sell it to, and say, hey, if I was going to create something right now, would you rather have A, B, or C? Instead of going out and saying, oh, well, I think they want this, because when we assume, we often get it wrong. It doesn't matter how well you know your audience.
We always get it wrong. We always get it wrong. I'll give you an example, very much so, to see a real life example of how this applied to me a few weeks ago. My membership that I've been running for 3 years, a 20K Nation, the focus is we help you get to 20K a month by using video and marketing to grow your business to 20K a month. And I thought to myself, it would be really cool if I have an upper VIP level. Now, this was what my logic was. My logic was, well, in the basic level, I'm going to get people that make anywhere between 0 to 2K a month. And then in the VIP level, I'm going to get people that make more than that. Right. And I was like, right, the purpose of the VIP will be to get people to 20K a month. That was my intention. And then I go and speak to a client of mine who's already making, $3 million a year. Like, she's already making $3 million a year. And she's like, so what can you do for me? Like, I really want to do more videos. I want to do this and I want to do this. And I said, well, I have a VIP offer that I can help you with video. And she said, well, this is what I want. I want this. I want this. Like, she literally told me what she wanted. And I said, I can do this, this, and this for that price. Would you want it? And she was like, I'm in. And then from there, I went, wait a minute. So what people want from me isn't to make 20K a month. It's to create a video asset content strategy that they can create consistently videos over the next 6 to 12 months and do it all the time. That's what they wanted. So I changed my positioning on that same day. The moment she bought this with that positioning, I went to somebody else and I said, hey, if you join the VIP, and I pitched it to a 300K business. And she was like, I said to her, if you join this, I'm going to help you to create more videos over the next 6 months. And she was like, I'm in. And then I signed up another 200K, and then I signed up another multi-six figures, and I signed up a few other six-figure. I ended up signing clients at a much higher level than I originally expected. At the same price, by the way. I didn't charge them any more because they were making more. But I ended up signing up a lot more advanced clients than I expected, simply because I stayed open-minded and I wasn't stubborn about, oh, this is about getting to 20K months, so I'm only going to do that. Like, I didn't do that. I just focused on what the clients wanted, and I gave them what they wanted. And that's why I think every single one of you should stay always vigilant about that kind of stuff and pre-validate your offers and ask the people what they want and then give it to them and charge them. And then go and find another person who wants that same exact thing and charge them too. And you end up having a whole bunch of people paying you good money for what you love doing anyway.
100%. And I think that's the simplest way to explain getting to six figures. It is about asking your audience, what do you want? And then it's about creating it for them and giving it to them. And then that is pretty much the simplest way to explain it. I mean, you're doing it with video. I'm doing it in the sales niche. I've got clients who are doing it in the fertility niche. I've got clients who are doing it in, things like raw pet food. Technology, software, SEO, all these kinds of things. But it's not because they're going out and they're trying to build a massive audience at the same time that they're trying to launch 3 different types of offers, at the same time that they're going out there and redoing their
Exactly.
branding and all that kind of thing. Everyone who is getting to six figures consistently, they're doing their market research. Then they're focusing on one thing. They're focusing on solving one problem. And then once they've mastered that, they're going out and going, okay, great. What problem now? And
not even just once they mastered, once they've put a team in place to run that by itself. So mastered selling it and having a team that can run without it. So I created last year, I put another offer, which was about viral videos. And I only put that offer after I put a community manager in place to manage the membership. I waited for the membership to be self-run without me. And then I put something else. And most people, what they try to do is they try to sell something new before they've even finished. Like a lot of entrepreneurs, especially ENFPs, ENTPs, great starters. They would always start something, but they will never finish the damn thing. And, that's one thing I've tried to get really good at. And it's not natural for me. I'm not a natural finisher, but I do my best to force myself to finish something before I move on to the next thing.
I love that. And that, I think, wraps it all up perfectly. So, if you are somebody who's thinking, oh, I haven't got to six figures yet, and I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I'm really trying and I'm working hard and I'm doing all the things, that line there is gold. Finish something, then move on. Then finish the next thing and move on. And you will find that with that focus and with that ability to just get one thing done at a time, you are going to make more money. You are going to make more impact, even if it seems intuitive right now.
Yeah. I love people who say to me, I've been working like a dog, but got no results. Yeah, it's because you're working like a dog on like lots of things that you shouldn't be working on, and you're being too stubborn, trying to figure it out on your own rather than have someone to come and tell you in your face that you are being way too distracted. Like, if you only got over yourself and paid somebody to give you the truth, you would move faster, but you are too stubborn and you don't want to do that, and then you burn yourself and then you lose years. I hate seeing that happen to people, because I've seen that happen with my parents. I've seen my parents try so many things throughout their lives and always failed, and always tried and always failed, and it just breaks my heart to see that. And I really don't want anyone else to ever come to me and say, I've been working like a dog for 10 years and nothing's happened. Like, that's just the most, like, if there's any reason why I do, it's because it's so that nobody ever has to say that ever in their life. Like, it's just so sad to me that people waste life with doing the wrong things and just trying to do it on their own. That's the hurtful part, I think.
Exactly. 100%. I 100% agree. I think it's all about having a community of people that have got your back, and sometimes we get that through paid communities. You've got your membership, I've got mine, where people get a lot of kind of support and energy and things from that. But also it's about recognizing when you need more support. Both Katya and I have talked about having one-to-one mentors and team members and that kind of thing. And your business does get to a level where you do just need extra help. And it's not about waiting and thinking, can I afford it? Can I not? It's about looking at it and saying, okay, where is my opportunity if I continue to play at this level? Where is the next opportunity going to come from? Because unless I change or unless something else does, the results cannot happen. And so you have to start looking. A team might not be the right choice for you, but you might find something else that does work. You might want to move to an agency model. You might want to hire people in. You might want to whitelist your stuff. It doesn't matter. It's about looking at, okay, here's where I am now. Here's where I want to get to. Where is the next opportunity coming from? And finishing one thing at a time.
That is exactly correct, my dear. And if you remember something from this podcast, finish what you start. Focus on one thing. Do videos. Woo!
Do videos. Or a podcast.
Do more videos. Or podcast videos.
Yeah,
or video podcasts.
Thank you so much for coming on and being so transparent today. I really genuinely appreciate it. I know everyone else will too. Where can people find you if they want to do more videos? Where can they
So the best place to start with the work that I do is if you go to 20knation.com. That's like 20knation.com. But also I'm always on Facebook, facebook.com/Livestream Katya. Livestream Katya on all social media platforms. So LIVESTREAMKATYA. That you will find me mostly on Facebook and Instagram. So follow me there. And then 20knation.com if you want to actually go big with video and make 20K months within 6 to 12 months. See, that's another thing. Have a clear message. Be clear what the value you provide. And there's nothing clearer than telling you that I can help you make 20K a month with video within 6 to 12 months. That's it.
Exactly.
So
and look at that. We didn't get fancy about it. I help X do this by X. Like it's not, we're not making.
That's it. It's not like I help heart-centered female entrepreneur. Like none of that. No, I don't care. I don't care what you do. I make you get to 20K within 6 to 12 months using video marketing and content strategy. That's it.
Whoop, whoop. I love it. All right. Thank you so much, my dear. If you guys have enjoyed this episode, please make sure you head over to iTunes, hit the incredibly awkward little button and leave us a review. And if you want to go and check out Katya and learn how to skyrocket your business to 20K a month using video marketing and content strategy, make sure you go and follow her at Livestream Katya on all social media platforms or visit 20knation.com. I'll see you in Monday's episode where we're talking about recurring revenue. Yes, one of my favorite things. And if you need anything over the weekend, hit me up with an email. See you soon.